Frontier Developments have planted a solid foundation within their first iteration of the F1 Manager series. It may have its bugs, janky physics and wonky edges, but role-playing as a team principal has been a great experience, especially when you reach the Constructors' Championship as a backmarker. With the franchise's potential looking good from its first outing, we have many features and improvements we'd like to see that can provide a more immersive experience. And let's just get straight into it, but first you need to subscribe to the Traxion channel if you haven't already. Starting off with the obvious, becoming the 11th team on the grid is one thing that everyone would love to see. Comparing the bigger brother F1 22 series by EA Sports and Cody's, their My Team Career mode allows you to become the 11th team on the grid as you play both roles of team principal and first driver. You're able to customize your team logo, colours and livery, the team of your dreams sitting alongside the major racing teams on the grid. There's a possibility that the Frontier already have plans to include this in the next iteration or somewhere in the future, but it doesn't stop us from requesting this feature anyway. On top of this, how about the option to work your way up to F1 by starting out in a feeder series such as F2, F3 or W series? Give us the ability to develop our 11th team from nothing to something by going through these series, whether that's through proving yourself as a competent team principal or by simply reaching a certain payment target. Just imagine having the objective of earning a few $1 million to pay for a spot in a higher series, or being scouted out by a real team, as these will be tremendous feats to work towards. Also, finally on the topic of W Series, why not give us W Series drivers to scout out as an F1 team? I wouldn't mind Jamie Chadwick driving for me. Taking a leaf out of the Football Manager series, involving more opportunities to talk to others is a great feature to involve. Let us talk to the team by giving responses towards everyone or individual members, which in return may increase or decrease morale. Let us participate in press conferences and answer stupid questions from the media, even including praise, controversies, rumours, or even the option to storm out of the meeting. Imagine blasting the ever-living crap out of another driver simply because they unfortunately locked up into your driver. Let us judge how social media views yourself in the eyes of a fan. Allow the board to be influenced by your responses, where giving an answer can affect the team's PR level that also affects merchandise sales, team morale, and your attractiveness to other teams. Remember, the chassis department will notice that. One of our biggest issues with F1 Manager 22 is how the contract negotiations are handled. You can earn 4 great marks from the driver, but then it fails due to them wanting a 5-year contract rather than 3 years. This is completed on the exact same day, whereas emailing them a contract and giving them time to read and talk to their agent for a few days is a far more realistic approach. On top of this, upon signing, that member is on your team from the moment these terms are accepted. Having them lined up for the next season is a far easier and more realistic approach to acquiring new talent. On top of that, give us the option of either keeping it a secret or announcing it to the world. If you choose the former, this could maintain the current driver's morale level through the rest of the season, but the risk of this news leaking to the media could massively decrease morale throughout the team. Whereas if you choose the latter by not keeping it a secret, this could come with a cost of slightly reduced morale, as they are happy that you are transparent with them. Just try not to burn bridges by having a terrible legal team and just expecting a driver to race for you. That always ends well, doesn't it, Alpine? Sometimes you want to sit back and let the AI do the work for you. They are professional drivers after all, so they definitely know how to manage their tyres, fuel and ERS levels through their racing experience. Having the automatic control feature from the qualifying sessions added to the race is a must-have. The driver sometimes takes initiative on the ideal time to pit by extending their stint for a few more laps, which does increase their morale for the team due to having trust in them to go that extra mile. When it comes to setups, their feedback needs to be far better than simply having multiple one-word options. Let them tell us about exact areas on where they'd like adjustments, so whether they'd like less rear wing, more front wing, slightly less toe out and much more, rather than leaving it up to us to guess where the optimal point is. Their preferences also need to come into play too, so someone like Alex Albon may prefer more oversteer on their car, whereas their teammate may prefer understeer. This is where the race simulator could come into play well, rather than simply being a money sink for driver development. Allow the drivers to use this in between races to refine their setups. Better yet, allocate the reserve driver or even bring on a simulator driver to the team that allows better feedback towards these setups and gives them some more experience points in return. It's a team game after all, so having everyone involved to gain that extra 10th is key. This will be a tremendous feat to undertake, as adding online is not as simple as you might think. However, dreaming about playing along with your friends in this game is always a great idea. There will be the potential for leagues, multiple career modes, esports, and much more. The opportunities are vast. You could set a specific amount of races within the calendar, allow an equal playing field across all teams, involve custom teams, and so much more. You may be surprised to learn that Football Manager has previously been involved with esports. Back in 2018, a tournament was hosted at the Insomnia 62 Gaming Festival, with the winner going on to win £15,000 and the ability to manage the Norwich City Legends team for a charity football match against Inter Forever. Just imagine that, being the winner of an esports event with an F1 Manager and then getting the chance to become a team principal for a feeder series team. Okay, we're getting carried away, this isn't going to happen in a million years, but it's an incredible dream we would love to experience. One element that's surprisingly absent is the ability to find out what's going on with the rest of the field. Just like yourself, every team is also communicating back and forth from pit wall to driver, which has been shown to influence other teams within their strategy decisions, leading to some tricky coded messages being sent over team radio. As an example, teams often refer to strategies as a plan as a way to hide their procedures within a race. Having a member of staff to listen in and report to the main gameplay screen would work wonders, as this can help deter an undercut, adjust accordingly to their push levels, or if an opponent has damage on their car. Using this information, you can change your strategies around what the AI might be up to. Maybe add in another facility to help out with boosting this element, just like the weather center. Finally, we have an array of small tweaks we would like to see within future iterations. Firstly, the simulation speed could do with being increased a touch. At the moment, having to sit through a race at 16 times speed is quite long and leads to an hour-and-a-half race being more than 5.5 minutes. If this were increased to 32 or 64 times, this would be just under 3 minutes or 1.5 minutes. On top of that, having the opportunity to save in between race sessions or even simulate them entirely is something else that is desperately needed. We've had a few times where both drivers have retired, then you just have to sit through the entire session until the leaders finish. This experience will improve dramatically if you are able to simulate these sessions, especially from the pre-race screen. Lastly, having a look at previous results is also a key feature. The game already contains previous race data, but we'd like to see what our previous season results were. Even seeing how the F2 and F3 drivers are getting on within their championship helps aid a decision when looking for new talents, as this currently is unavailable in the game. Besides, those numbers help back up our trophy cabinet. So that's our wish list of things we'd like to see in F1 Manager 23 and beyond. What other fixes would you like to see in future iterations? Let me know in the comment section down below. Personally, I still need yellow T-bars. It really throws me off when I'm looking at Lando Norris in a black barred car. No, that's Danny Rick's car. Come on. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the Traxion channel, whatever your racing discipline, and head over to TraxionGG for even more content. Thank you very much for watching, keep it pinned, and I'll see you next time.